Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to today's episode entitled Playing Hide and Seek with My Bestie, Depression. So, it's not going to be about depression, but I just figured I'd entitle that because I feel sad. Not just sad. Uh, Whatever. Nothing compares. Okay, anyways. Um, So what are we gonna talk about? I don't know. Does it matter? Does anything? Okay, I don't wanna. I'm already into the abyss. I'm looking out, and me and my bestie. Okay, so okay, um, so let's talk about representation, about in books and in literature. So of course, I had to comment on here and discuss about how important it is to just have a space for everyone. What am I thinking? Why is it important to have a space for everyone? Because I didn't really think. I I wasn't really like into romance. I was somewhat dipping my toe in and out, and I got into romance because it was smart. And now that I'm like regularly having like maybe one or two romance book, reading really it was really smart. And then I'm just really shying away from like just getting more into like weird shit. I'm thinking how enriching it is, even though I don't even remember much about the plot or the characters' names, etc. But it's what I do remember is the fact how different and unique the story is, and how there's an actual distinctive voice and a different perspective on just man and woman, woman and woman, man on man. Then there's like a other, like there's like people who enjoy sex on a completely different level where I mean, it's not like the book I was reading wasn't like didn't have its sexy time, but I just felt like the way how the author described certain the generic, the sex scenes, the steamy parts of the book, it felt like it was, geared towards people who aren't within like the binary classifications of like, oh, men and women like, the insertion or the rubbing or anything. It's like, it just felt like, oh, these people, I really like the fact that I don't know what the book, and I agree or whatever her name is. She has like this alien series, and in the alien series, she doesn't really talk. She talks about like how their genitalia is different, and they have to be stimulated in a very different way, and how they, feel love differently, and how some of them, and I like a lot of them, is not dealing with penetration. Like, it's like she doesn't really specify that any one of them is being penetrated, like heavily penetrated, but it's like room for like, oh, I know they say like, oh, this one is identified as male or female, but I like the fact that it's like almost interchangeable, because it's not like how the way she describes like when these two love interests have sex. It's not something that's indicative of like, yes, only the male has this, but I like the fact that it's like general enough that it's like they just say sex parts. So I feel like it creates like a wider um, a wider like room to escape, and for anybody who's considered non-binary or other to like comfortably like sit within the character and just be like, oh, this person is not a dick and it's not a vagina. And I mean, I know it deals with like their insectoids or their aliens or whatever, but how the way, even like how the way they communicate that they love each other, they're like tender with each other, it's just different. And I think that I'm probably gonna explore more books that are centered around more, I don't know, I mean, it's just a vibe. I don't know if this person who wrote this series was going for like a non-binary type vibe, but that's what I got. Like that, it wasn't like very descriptive. Like it was like, oh, they either like, you know, like I don't know. It's very hard. It's hard when you're like, you just feel like, oh, I don't really want to do anything. And then you do something, and then you hear yourself doing a thing, and then you're like, why bother? That's where I'm at right now. I am pushing myself. I just got back into reading. I just got back into just doing other things. And some can fine. Most of the time, it just feels like a fucking chore. Because I want to tell myself, I am happy doing this. I'm okay doing this. But it just feels like I'm checking off things off of a fucking list. I could just be like, okay, done, 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 done. And I'm only talking, I don't know. Is anybody going to listen to this? Does anybody care? And it's not like I'm like please care about what I'm saying. This is just something I just wanted to do one day, and then I might, feeling cute, might delete, but it's just, I just want to share this until I find something that I actually, like the vehicle in which I want to, or the tool. I don't know, see? It's just all over the fucking place. But once I find my voice, then I assume that things will flow better. I'll have something to actually talk about. I don't know. This is just what I wanted to say. I'm probably going to change it tomorrow and have it more focused, because even I'm like, what the fuck? But toodles.